You're right.
Any questions you've got for the boys, use the hashtag #HomeNations.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
On
The
social
first frame.
media. Let's join
Xiao
our boys
Guodong
in the
to
box
break.
for this one. Joe Johnson, and first up, Dave Hendon.
Welcome to fantastic Friday here in Glasgow, quarter-finals day. What a cracking lineup and a really interesting match to start. Australia versus China, Neil Robertson versus Xiao Guodong. Robertson with 5 centuries already this week. Of course, he was playing under the pressure of trying to get in the Masters. That's been settled now. Not the way he wanted, of course, because he's not in it, but at least that's gone. And as Jimmy White was saying, maybe a bit of a point to prove to everyone. He's dropped to 20th in the world. This is a player who, on his day, should be in the top 4 all day long.
Yeah, quite agree. The guy that's made 100 centuries in a season, down at number 20. It just shows you, though, how tough it really is. Once you get to the top, it's just as difficult to stay there.
Yes, and Xiao Guodong is a very dangerous opponent. He's come along a little under the radar this week, but had a fantastic win last night over the defending champion, Marco Fu, who led 59-0 in the deciding frame. Xiao had actually led 3-0, but from 59-0 down, he cleared up with 73. It was a great clearance, and that's why he's here today in the quarterfinals.
Nice, clean pot. That cue ball just travelled on. The table speeded up. He's been in 2 ranking finals, Xiao Guodong. One of them this year. Shootout. And there's no doubt he's one of the players that's on the way up.
4.
Yes, and he has beaten Robertson at the Home Nations event last year in Manchester, the English Open. He won 4-3. Robertson won their previous 2 meetings.
Which was about 4 years ago, I believe. No, sorry, a couple of years ago.
Five.
Well, that was a confident shot. Deep screw back for the black with just a touch of side on it. Could have played for the pink into the right corner, which would have been easy.
Xiao is 34th in the world, but has been as high as 19.
Another very attacking shot there, opening the reds up. Could have just stunned up for the blue, but decided to open the reds at the same time, and he's finished perfectly on the blue. He's given himself a really good chance now. All the reds will go, taken in the right sequence.
$18.
Well, you may have wondered why I was down so long on the shot. It was because the phone went off and he just recomposed himself there. And then to top it all off, another one went off.
Thankfully, it didn't, preventing potting it. Good start this from Xiao, looks confident. As I say, a great clearance against Marco Fu last night.
26.
It's ending to bed really positive and looking forward to today. Best of 9 now, remember, so there will be an interval after 4 frames.
$27.
The red directly above the black. Looks as though it will go. He's just checking the other reds. But he could take the 2 reds to the right of the pink first, which makes it easier to get on to those 2 reds. He's got so many choices here. Didn't quite come far enough for the reds he played for.
34.
But always knew he was going to be on this red. Fancy shoes, eh?
35.
The Chinese boys seem to like the shoes. They look like slippers. I don't know about shoes. Talk about being comfortable while you're playing snooker. Well, these are the 2 reds that he'd like to get rid of to make it easier to get to the other 2 reds below the pink. But again, he hasn't quite come back far enough.
$41.
And that means he's not on the next colour, ideally. And it started a couple of shots previously when he had the red to the left corner. He didn't quite get the right side of the blue, which left him awkward on the red, which has now left him even more awkward on the pink. The pink's missable, and the cue ball's going into those reds. We'll know before he does. Nicely played, and nicely on the red.
What a great start this is. This is what the greats of the game often do, come out with a big break in the opening
47.
frame. It's not won it yet, but getting closer. Keeping Robertson sat in his seat.
48.
He is favourite, of course, Neil Robertson, but that means nothing these days. We know that from the results we've seen all season. Got to produce the goods, and of course you got to, in this situation, watch your opponent produce the goods when they get in first.
Yep, and try and stay positive, waiting for your chance. That's the old secret of the game.
55.
Don't admire your opponent too much.
56.
But now he knows he's got to finish it, so he's under a little pressure here. Could have done with being a little straighter on the black. I'm not sure if he can get the right side of those 2 reds. No, he couldn't. Played the cannon, and it hasn't worked out. He could have made sure of being on a red there by
63.
playing the cue ball down towards the blue. He'd have been on the red to the right corner, guaranteed. But took the risk on the cannon, and it hasn't worked out. As you can see, 75 remaining. 63 points the lead, but not enough yet. Pushing the red to the cushion, which is a clever shot.
Well, he'll be disappointed, of course, he didn't close it out, but a good start that from Xiao Guodong. A nice 63 in the opening frame. But at least Robertson comes back to the table still able to win it.
Yeah, you made a good point there, though, David. The top players come out and win the frame at one visit so many times. We saw it so many times yesterday. And that's where he's just let himself down a little bit. He should have finished the game off there. He's allowed Robertson to come back to the table and have a few shots, and even if he doesn't win, he's got a few shots, which he wouldn't have done had he sealed the frame. And plenty of pressure on this long red. If he missed it, every chance that Robertson could make a comeback. But the safety is difficult. The double kiss is on. Can't afford to leave the red there. So he may be forced into taking the red on. And the player doesn't like to be forced into something. That's a good shot. One cracking shot. Didn't play for the black. Just played to leave the cue ball there. And now he can put another colour safe. Possibly the brown.
Pink ball.
Shows the pink.
Xiao Guodong.
The only thing wrong with that is it's near the reds. So easy enough to bring the pink off the cushion at some stage. You just saw the cue ball swerve before it got to the red. That's with all the left-hand side that he had on the cue ball. A little fortunate, holds his hand up because he caught the red too thick and could have left it on very easily. Well, he could not go to pot this red, but send it towards the pocket. Get that cue ball up behind the brown or yellow. Didn't catch it thin enough. Needed to kind of go to pot it, and it would have caught the angles and come back along the black cushion. But he's got a little fortunate covering the red. Wait for this. Wow, would you believe it? He holds his hands up. He didn't play that. Had he thought about it, it was worth playing.
Neil Robertson needs 2 snookers.
Xiao Guodong. One.
And he's in one himself.
Yeah, that was a risky shot to play at that speed. Had he been short there, the free ball was on. And we've seen it happen many times.
It's going to be the pink.
Foul.
Probably going to be a
Xiao Guodong.
concession. He nods his head.
Frame conceded.
It's a good start
Xiao
from
Guodong.
Xiao Guodong. OK, he didn't win it in one visit, but he made a very good 63. He's looking confident after that win last night over Marco Fu, but a long way to go. It's best of 9 now in the quarterfinals. So Xiao Guodong leads Neil Robertson by 1 frame to 0. Welcome back to Glasgow. Neil Robertson here trailing Xiao Guodong 1-0 in the first quarter-final of the Scottish Open. What a day we've got after this match. It's Judd Trump against Stephen Maguire, and then tonight on the main table, it'll be packed in here, I'm sure, for John Higgins against Ronnie O'Sullivan, a clash of the snooker titans. That's 7 o'clock tonight. Ricky Walden and Chow Yupeng will be on table 2 at 7. That'll be on the Eurosport Player.
Thank you. Second frame. Neil Robertson to break.
Neil Robertson breaking off in frame 2. If he wins today, he'll be through to his first ranking event semi-final since last season's European Masters. That was in October 2016, so 14 months. Seems a long time for Robertson since he's been in a semi-final. Of course, that in part explains why he's dropped out the top 16.
Well, really gave that some, didn't he? And there's a red onto the both middles. Just caught it a little bit too thick. And that could be costly. It gives Robertson a chance. Something he didn't get in the last frame. And he'll want to hit straight back.
Yeah.
Well, he's had 5 centuries in the tournament. He was 2-0 down to David Grace last night, but won 4-2. OK, he wants to be in the Masters, of course he does, but at least that's settled now. He can just get on with playing without that external pressure in the background.
Coming down for the red by the pink spot, which if he does pop the pink at some
6.
stage, it allows him that room around the pink spot. Didn't quite come far enough to get to the black. And just working things out, he's an excellent break builder.
Seven.
And when you see the reds like this with Robertson about, it's a bit like O'Sullivan and Higgins. You just get the feeling that he's going to score very heavy.
Well, he's 4th on the all-time list of Centurions with 535 to his name. But as Joe said, he made basically a 5th of those in one season.
Quite incredible. Well, he just opted to play to luck there, and it could have been better.
13.
Has reds to the right middle. I wasn't sure about that one. He's half covered the black with that shot. There were reds that would go. But trusted to luck a little bit, and well, he can get to this red. He can cue at it.
14.
So it should be okay. Just having a look at the black there to see if it will go. If it will, it's a
20.
bonus. If he could get straight on it, and he could play the red next to it into the same pocket.
21.
The great irony, if he did win this event, would be that he'd be back in the top 16. But, of course, the cut-off's already come for Ali Pali. But, of course, the next cut-off is for the World Championship. That's coming round sooner than you'd think. China Open in April. You've got to be in the top 16 after that. Otherwise, you've got to qualify for the Crucible.
And that's 3 matches to qualify.
Absolutely, starting round 1.
Well, that's moved the red away from the black spot. Chose to play it with a screw rather than just playing a thin cannon.
28.
Playing for 1 red.
I think it's just going to take one good week, and wouldn't be surprised if the trophies came in a bit of a rush for Robertson.
29.
Well, he's underhit that one. Wanted to be top side of the blue. He may decide to run round the angles. He doesn't need to, he could just screw back. Play the long red to the left corner. I like this one. Great cue power. Giving himself choice of 2 reds.
$35.
And now back onto the black. He could play for these reds on the cushion. Just depends what kind of an angle he's got on the black. Yeah, there's the angle, so I don't think he's got much choice but to play for these reds. That's close to the cushion. Didn't really want to. But a player of Robertson's
42.
capabilities, you wouldn't expect him to miss this. Although it is awkward cueing.
43.
Yeah, the same as Xiao Guodong. He needs to keep it going now. He's got the balls as he wants them.
50.
I don't think he's played on this table much this week. David would probably know better.
No,
51.
quite right. This is his long last. He's on table 1.
But I don't think his opponent has either. So it's a first for both of them.
Yeah, and they both started really well. Xiao Guodong in the first frame, and now Neil Robertson here in the second, looking to kill this off.
Not a good angle on the black. So 1 more red,
57.
big colour. And another red should be enough.
58.
Perfect position, the right side of the pink. Just a nudge over for that red. So another colour after this red and he's safe. And a good response. Just to let him know
64.
that, or Xiao Guodong know that he can play as well, as if he didn't know. Yeah, the cue ball's going into the black, and he's not sure how thick he's going to hit that black, hit that red. So he's going to play the screw back,
65.
the pink into the middle.
The pink that will leave Xiao needing a snooker.
Yeah, he just needs to look at the scoreboard and check the score because he doesn't want to do anything fancy. make sure of the pink, because the balls are there for the taking if he should play position more than the pot. That makes sure of the game.
71.
Robertson's had 5 centuries in the tournament already in the 4 best-of-7 frame matches he's won.
Thank you. 72.
He's a player and a person with great positivity, very optimistic character. He's had to really work hard just to pursue his career, of course, moving over from Australia. He's missed that one, so...
Robertson, 72.
Well, he's 72, 59 on. Xiao is going to play on. It was a good break. Would have liked to have killed it off cleanly, though, and stopped Xiao coming back to the table.
Yeah, he's not safe by any means. Yeah, 2 snookers, but the red behind the black in a nice place.
1.
Yes, this is still a tall order. There's 4 snookers he needs, but with the chance of the free ball, it's worth giving it a go.
Nine.
Well, would have preferred to
16.
have left that red closest to the black first. But the other one is missable.
Seventeen. $24.
48 behind. So 4 snookers needed. I said there was 2, but miscounted. Well, there was 5 reds left. There was only 4. So tall order. And he needed, well, he needed a snooker there, really.
Well, it's a big chance. And look where the red's finished. And he's going to nod his head. So Neil Robertson with that good 72 has levelled up. It's a high-quality start here in the first quarter-final of this Scottish Open in Glasgow. Neil Robertson and Xiao Guodong level at 1 frame apiece.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. The 3rd frame, Xiao Guodong to break.
Well, it's been good stuff so far. Xiao Guodong made a 63 break in the opener. Neil Robertson a 72 in frame 2. Maybe not a huge surprise that Xiao Guodong played on there, needing 4 snookers, because in the second round against Gary Wilson in the decider, he needed 4 and got them. 73-0 down with 59 on, got the 4 snookers, won the match, and here he is in the quarterfinals.
So he wouldn't have been here had he not got those 4 snookers. So you can't blame him for playing on in the last frame. Just remember, as long as you're there, out there, playing, you have a chance. Incredible. 4 snookers he needed. Deciding frame.
Oh, this cue ball is going in.
Xiao Guodong, 4.
Well, at least the red held up. It was heading towards that yellow pocket.
Yeah, still got this red to the right corner, though. Caught the red too thick. And that's what happens if you catch it too thick. That's a let-off. That's certainly a let-off for Robertson. And he's left it.
Yeah, well, now the in-off looks like a positive for Robertson.
Yeah, and that's the thing, David. You've got to go back to your chair, still thinking positive, because you could come straight back to the table with a scoring chance. And if you're in a negative frame of mind, you're not ready for this chance. But I'm sure Robertson's ready.
1.
Oh, he's going into them. Huh. Now, is he on anything? Yeah, this red has come across and he's on one at least. It's not
6.
easy, but it's a chance. Could have been so much easier because he caught them beautiful. Just didn't split. Ah, he needs to take up billiards.
Xiao Guodong, 4.
So frustrating because it was such a great recovery pot, this. And the white again finding the pocket.
Yeah, just potted it a little thin. And that's why the cue ball didn't go where it was intended to.
Yeah, talking of Xiao Guodong winning a match after getting the 4 snookers, that happened a while back, and I do mean a while back, 1990, in fact, the British Open. Bob Chaperon got 4 snookers to beat Alain Robertson in a decider and went on to win the title. I know this because a friend of mine had Robertson as the last leg of his accumulator. All the others had come in. And when Chaperon needed 4 snookers, he was starting to celebrate. Meanwhile, that's a mistake.
Yeah, caught the reds too thick. Well, he could go into the reds off the pink. He could go into the reds off the black. He could play for the loose red behind the black from the pink. There's so many shots he could play, and it's just a matter of which one he wants. He could play the cannon to the red above and to the right of the black, leaving himself on the red to the left corner. Which one will he choose? I think I'd prefer to play for the red just below the black, so the black goes to both pockets, but he's going into them. Very attacking shot, and it's worked out nicely. It could be a frame-winning shot, that.
7.
Both these players playing very attacking snooker, trying to win instead of not trying not to lose.
8.
Xiao Guodong won a match at the Crucible last season, beat Ryan Day before falling victim, as many did, to Mark Selby in the second round. That shootout where he got to the final was pretty dramatic as well. He beat Dave Gilbert in a match where it was so noisy, no one heard the buzzer go off because of a shot
15.
clock as he was in play. Rather controversial. Thankfully, the crowd
16.
here a little bit better behaved than they are at the shootout. The thing is, in snooker, the silence is the atmosphere. If everyone's silent, you know they're involved in the match.
23.
Engrossed in it, in fact. Of course, we're down to one table now. You can see some play going on in the distance. There's a Scottish amateur event on. That's what that is. But in terms of this tournament, one table until tonight, when the Ricky Ward and Chow Yu-Peng match will be on table
24.
2-7.
Yes, he knew he hadn't got by the red there, but he's still got this red to the left middle.
31.
But he was playing round the two cushions for the red into the right corner.
$32.
My good friend Jamie O'Reilly says that Mark Selby needed 4 snookers in the World Championship last 16 match
38.
and got them. So it can happen.
Selby could probably get 10 snookers.
39.
Yeah. Great player at getting snookers, without a doubt. And one of the reasons is that he always makes sure the object ball's safe when he's playing those snookers.
I think I remember that. I think it was against Stephen Hendry when he got those snookers.
Yeah, you're a little bit like Jamie O'Reilly. You've got a memory like an elephant.
46.
Well, meanwhile, Xiao pressing on here. A couple of in-offs in this frame from Robertson. The latter one has proved costly because he pulled off what seemed a good recovery pot to keep his break going. And then the cue ball found the middle pocket.
It was a little unfortunate, wasn't he, Robertson, because he went into the pack of reds and hit them well. They just didn't split. And then he played that good recovery shot, as you said. Just potted it a little thin and lost the cue ball.
54.
This is the shot. It was a good shot, but he just potted it thin. And that's why the cue ball's gone in the pocket. But having said that, Xiao Guodong played a very attacking shot when he potted the pink and bust the pack.
55.
Could have played for any number of loose reds, but took the initiative, and this is the benefit.
Black and one more red to lead 2-1. And I suppose when you've had the escape that he had against Gary Wilson, having needed 4 snookers, you feel like, well, everything else is a bonus, because it should have been out, really. So this effectively to retake the lead. Wow. Well, no one saw that coming.
No, absolutely not. And that could be a great changing point, a big changing point in this match. 64 points, the difference. Now that will hurt if he loses this frame. In fact, if he loses the match, that could hurt forever. That's how much it means sometimes.
Well, we've already seen, we've only been going 2.5 frames, the emotional roller coaster that top-level snooker is. Suddenly, Robertson, having resigned himself to losing this frame, will now be absolutely determined to win it, because he knows psychologically how significant it's going to be.
Giving himself chance of 2 reds there. Had he come a little bit too hard. Was on the red to the pink, next to the pink. Can afford to take the pink. Well, tried to
Robertson
make
kick.
absolutely sure, and now Xiao Guodong can forget all about that.
Yeah, and Robertson probably wishes that Xiao had just not missed the red with the rest and carried on, because he knows that was a chance to really hurt him if he'd have cleared up. But in fact, it's surely now going to be 2-1 to the Chinese. As I say, emotional roller coaster. Robertson now once again resigned to losing the frame.
Seven. 8.
Yes, my good friend Jamie O'Reilly has just confirmed that it was against Hendry, that he needed 4 snooker, so David was absolutely right. How he can remember something like that, I just don't know. I don't know who played last night.
14.
Amazing. But the psychology of snooker is that,
16.
as David said, it probably wishes that Xiao Guodong had cleared up the first time round, because Neil Robertson won't be feeling well now, and Xiao Guodong's forgotten all about that ready miss with the rest.
22.
This is the great thing about snooker, though. Like any drama, it's the unexpected, it's the plot twists that keep us coming back for more.
23.
Black wriggles in, but anyway, the frame well and truly won. There's going to be one more to come before the first interval we've seen all week, because of course we're now best of 9. What Neil Robertson has seen here is that Xiao Guodong is playing really good snooker.
32.
He would have known that from his results, particularly the one against Fu, but he's seeing it up close and personal here, and he knows he's got to play well today to win this match.
35. $39. 44.
So missed frame ball red with the rest, but was reprieved pretty quickly.
50.
And this little break, this clearance he's made here, will just resettle him, I think. 57 clearance. He knows it could have been a different story. Neil Robertson did have a chance to steal it, but it went wrong pretty quick for the Aussie, and Xiao Guodong delighted to get a second chance. He leads now in Glasgow by 2 frames to 1.
Okay,
Welcome back to the Emirates Arena
Thank
in
you.
Glasgow,
Frame
quarter-finals day at the Daffabet
Neil Robertson
Scottish
to break.
Snooker Open. The opening act is Neil Robertson against Xiao Guodong. It's 2-1 to Xiao Guodong, and it's been really good stuff so far. Real attacking snooker. Both players, as Joe said, really going for it, and that's not the best break-off from Robertson.
Just when he needed a good break-off as well. He leaves an early chance. But had a chance at Neil Robertson's last break-off, and Neil won the frame from that. Caught it a little thick. And a bit thick again, and he could win the frame from that as well. As David said, it's been incredible snooker so far. 63, 62 and 57. Breaks from Xiao Guodong, and 72 from Neil Robertson.
1.
Well, chance to make up for that last frame when he missed the red down the cushion.
8.
Well, he may decide to play for the black and not split the reds this time round.
9.
And split the reds from the blue. Although he's got a nice angle on the black to go into them.
Meanwhile, Leo Scullion, a local man, is cleaning the cue ball. Great to see Leo out there. Of course, he refereed the final last year, had a long period of ill health, but now back to full duties.
Well, doesn't want to be too straight on this red, otherwise he can't get top side of the blue. It's okay, and that's just about right to go into the back of reds. And if he can, well, there's two ways of playing it: into the pink full ball, or miss the pink on the right. Chose full ball on the pink, and he surely is going to be on one. He is. Takes a risk on knocking the ball in. With the reds flying all over the place, anything can happen.
23.
Oh, he didn't play that one well. Neither the black or the pink he played for that. Thin shot on the pink, but that's all he's got. I think he was just in two minds when he played the red. Because had he tried to play for the pink, it would have been easy. And had he played for the black, that would have been easy. He just thought he was going to be on one of them. Well, I thought he'd overcut that one for a moment. Look at this. That was going to the far angle and it
29.
Didn't look into me. But it dropped. And he's still in with a scoring chance. Could have done without the kiss on the blue, on the red. It would have been nicely on the blue. This is a little pressure shot. Just winding himself up, ready to take it. And that's where he wants to be for the red.
$35. 36.
Played it perfectly. The right side of the blue, the red above the black is available. Could decide to go into them off the left side cushion. Well, he must be straighter on the blue than what I thought. I thought he had a little angle.
I think he's slightly the wrong side of it.
Yeah. So he's looking at bringing the cue ball back to where it is, but, well, this is different. It's awkward playing the brown. So bring the cue ball back to where it is, just a little bit further. Oh, well. Wait for this. I see, it was too easy in the middle. Well, that could change the match.
41.
Because Xiao Guodong would have been on this red.
.42.
Yeah, good shot. And again, choices. You could play to go into them, or play for the reds into the left corner. Well, if the red below the pink goes, that's a wonderful shot. It's not quite hard enough. If it's the one above the black that he played for. Is it hard enough? Just.
Well, this break is a little bit like sort of walking across a frozen pond. And you can at times just feel the ice beginning to crack a little between your feet, but at the moment, he's still going. The fluke was massive, of course.
Especially if he wins the frame from it. Because he could have lost the frame from that very easily.
Well, this is
52.
the fifth half century of this match.
.53.
So he's got the angle to go into them. If that red above the black doesn't go to the right corner. And it does. So needs another red and a black.
58.
His opponent needs snookers.
But we know Xiao Guodong is pretty good at getting them, so he wants to kill this off. He's played well so far also. It's been an excellent start to the day.
.61. I made a mistake. I made a mistake earlier. It was my mistake. It's 61.
Well, yeah, it's 61, so he needs the black, and he'd be 68 in front with 67. I think the ref just called the wrong score before. Now, make sure.
Well, even this one doesn't make sure, does it? According to Xiao Guodong.
.69.
Well, there's no doubt, and it was a blue that made a big difference. This was it. Slightly the wrong side, and this is what happened. Missed it to the middle, off the side cushion, into the yellow pocket. It's made a big difference here.
Massive. Massive, because he's won the frame from it.
74.
Well, it sets it up nicely for the second half. It's been a high standard, good
75.
attacking snooker, and it's going to be on as even on the resumption. It's worth saying that Robertson has won a tournament this season, and it was a big event in Hong Kong, a big invitation event featuring the top 8 in the world. He beat Mark Selby,
83.
Hong Kong's own Marco Fu, and in the final, Ronnie O'Sullivan to win £100,000. But as an invitation event, it didn't count towards the world rankings. If it had done, he'd be at the Masters.
.90.
He's won a tournament of some sort every year since he won his first in 2006 at the Grand Prix. It's a great
91.
record. nicely done.
98.
Yeah, wants to make the century. Very similar, this red, to one that he got off that fluke blue. Potted it cleanly then, when it really counted. And potted it cleanly again. Very similar shots. So just the pink needed, but another century.
Well, it would be his 6th of the tournament.
Incredible.
Just couldn't quite find his chalk.
And we're only in the quarters.
Well, they go to the interval feeling very happy with this. OK, he did fluke a blue, and it was a big moment, but the rest of it's been excellent.
105.
It's been a great start, full stop.
107.
35th century of the season for Neil Robertson. And it's not that he's been playing bad stuff, it's just that so many players have been playing good stuff this season. And points coming off as well after the UK 2 years ago. He's found himself 20th in the world.
A bit like Xiao Guodong today. He's played exceptionally well. Watch the side.
114.
Zipped off the second cushion. And what about that for a positional shot? Check off the first, running off the second. Very, very difficult shot to play. Oh, did it run off a little?
Neil Robertson.
It's a great break of 114. It's a great start to quarter-finals day here in Glasgow. Honours even between Neil Robertson and Xiao Guodong as they head off to the dressing rooms at the interval. All square at 2 frames all.
I think the players are just about to come back into the arena, so we'll hand over to our boys in the box, Joe Johnson and Dave Hendon.
Yes, nicely poised, isn't it? 2-2 in this best-of-9 frame quarter-final. Neil Robertson made that century in the 4th frame, 114.
Frame 5.
To draw level. I think it's worth reiterating what I said earlier. Neil Robertson has not been in a ranking event semi-final for 14 months. That's the stage of the competition he's aiming to get to. But he's seen already today he's going to have to play some of his best stuff to come through. Xiao's been very impressive so far.
Yeah, but what's been impressive is that long potting from Neil Robertson. And that's another cracker there. Jimmy made a good point about the safety. And his safety play's got to improve. 56%, it's not good.
Four. Five.
Well, he could go into them, but the pink's a couple of inches further away from the pack of reds than he would have liked. Easy enough to play the yellow and come down for that red to the right of the pink.
Where's that prize music? It's on the screen.
I'm not entirely sure what that is. There's some distraction or something.
It's music.
Music I can hear coming through one of the monitors. Seems to be what they're saying. Well, it's sort of Christmas party season, but even so, we need a bit of silence.
Seven. Eight.
Yeah, Yeah, just came far enough. And again, ideal on the blue to play for any of those 2 reds, possibly 3. Coming down for that red next to the black, which frees the black, and had to be accurate there, although he had the red to the middle. If he'd have just come a little too far. And he can play for the red into the left middle. He could overscrew it and play for the red to the right corner. Not ideal on the black now, he's just off straight, coming towards the cushion. So maybe the red doesn't go to the left middle because of the pink. Nope. Needs to keep running. Just not hard enough. I think he played
21.
for the red to the left middle. And that's another good recovery shot. And this time he's got the angle to get the right side of the red. A little short of pace, but that might do him a favour.
29.
He can nudge a few open and go up towards the blue, ball colours.
It's not been a long match by any means as we reach the hour mark.
Just deciding whether to nudge a few out or play up for the blue. Well, certainly nudged a few out, but not ideal on the pink. Lots of topspin on the cue ball there. Look at the cue ball. It took off nearly as it got through the reds. But a tough shot to the middle. Played so positively. Didn't expect to miss it. Right in the middle of the pocket.
36.
Yes, he had a little knock just a few minutes in the interval on the practice table.
$37.
Potted it just a little thick, and that's why the cue ball hasn't finished the right side of the blue. Had he potted it cleanly, the cue ball would have travelled another 2 or 3 inches. Choice to come in and out of balk, or just play the little screw back and play the long red. And that way is guaranteed to be on a red. Had he cannoned one of the balk colours, it would have been end of break.
42. $43.
He just seems to be playing so positively. Everything's been said about O'Sullivan and John Higgins this week. And he's kind of like being under the radar. We know he's there, but it's not like talking about him winning the tournament, but playing like this, he can beat anybody. And to be fair, so can Xiao Guodong, because he's played superb as well. Hasn't done much wrong. In fact, that fluke in the last frame went against him. Could have been 3-1 up had that blue not gone in.
50. Yeah.
The red below the pink, we've just seen, will go into this right corner. It will also go to the middle.
Well, we can see the fluke from the previous frame. It made a big difference. Look how many reds are on here. You know, that could have been potentially frame over, or certainly given Xiao Guodong a foothold in that frame, but the blue went in, he went on to make 114.
Yeah, we'll never know if Xiao Guodong would have won the frame from there like Robertson did, but one thing's for sure, we know that Robertson did win the frame from it.
$57.
He could have done what Robertson did the previous frame and missed the red, left it over the pocket. Robertson straight back in again and won the frame. We'll never know.
58.
And that hasn't gone according to plan. This is a terrible pink to take on. With the red spread like that, nothing safe. Do or die, this one. It's there, and what a brave shot to take on. Excellent shot. Could well be another century now, but that was such a positive shot to take on.
64.
A lot of players would have put a colour safe there, played the safety shot. Full marks for that one.
So this red, and it's snooker's required.
65.
Robertson looking really good here as he moves in front in the match for the first time. Xiao was 1-0 and 2-1 in front. Next frame becomes big.
All he's done is break off Xiao Guodong.
Next frame becomes big because Robertson is a confidence player, and if he gets to 4-2, he's going to be hard to rein in.
72.
What I like about Neil Robertson is that he's his own man, and he's happy in his own skin. He's got these hobbies, video gaming, which he's packed in because it was getting a bit too much, but also he paints these Warhammer figurines. He doesn't care if people think that's a bit odd. He enjoys it.
79.
Doesn't attempt to project an image. He is who he is. And what he is, he's a great snooker player, first and foremost.
80.
Who's now rediscovering a bit of lost confidence.
Well, I think you made a good point earlier. He hasn't been playing badly. It's just that people have been playing so well against him. I mean, he's had something like 35 centuries this season. That's not playing badly.
No, and he's also had off-table issues that he's spoken about recently. His partner's been suffering
93.
from mental health issues, which obviously has taken a strain on the family.
94.
But it's good, unless maybe a Xiao Guodong today, it's good to see Neil Robertson playing so well again, and this black for back-to-back centuries. Very, very impressive.
101. $103.
Well, the crowd absolutely loving this and being treated to spectacular snooker.
$106. $110.
Stamping round the table. Very intimidating for your opponent.
115.
Xiao Guodong knows the next frame is a big one because the thunder from down under is starting to make a bit of noise again in one of these big tournaments. What a lovely break that was.
128 and the frame.
A total clearance of 128. Just needed one chance. He took it to lead 3-2, and he needs two more, and he's in the semi-finals.
Okay, Neil. Thank you. Frame 6. Neil Robertson to break.
Welcome back to Glasgow, where Neil Robertson has made back-to-back centuries of 114 and 128 to take the lead here against Xiao Guodong 3-2 as he breaks off in frame 6.
black's covered. So this long red to the left corner, you can't just drop it in. If he did take it on, he'd have to play back up for one of the port colours or blue. And the way these two have been playing, you expect him to take it on. No, played the safety. Well, he could take this red on to the baulk corner. If he could leave the cue ball just below the middle pocket, he'd be on the blue with that red above the blue. And he shouldn't leave anything easy. Yeah, got the cue ball close to the cushion. Sometimes they just drift out to the right against the nap. That one held true.
Xiao is suddenly under pressure. He's been playing well in this match to lead 2-1, but it's turned round with the two big breaks from Robertson, and this frame, as I say, he's big. If he goes 4-2, Robertson, confident player that he is, will fancy the job strongly.
He's got an easy safety shot from the red in baulk, but taking this red on. Well, that's a long way away. Now, what's the damage? Wasn't really close. Well, I thought he might have taken this red on down the left side of the table. It could have been on the black. Wouldn't have left anything as long as he stayed low on the black. Except the red he was playing on.
Thank you.
Now, can he see this red over the right corner? He can. Can he pot it? Neil Robertson had a look to see where he wanted the cue ball, and that's where he wanted it, probably nearer the cushion.
One.
But that may have been a poor decision. When he played the safety shot, he could have left the cue ball where the red was. He wouldn't have left anything on. But he chose to play the cue ball over to that side of the table. And it could have worked against him.
Six. Seven.
Not hard enough. It sounded a little kicky, that, which may have threw the cue ball wider.
14.
Well, he's thinking of playing off the pack of reds and holding for the black. But it shouldn't be a problem to go up towards the blue.
$15.
So I'm not sure about that shot because it was so easy to play up for the blue. And with those reds to the right of the pink, easy to come back down the table again. It was a positive shot he played, trying to develop more reds, but it was risky. A real pressure blue, this. Yeah, good shot. I'll tell you, both these players are playing so positively.
20.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he sat out 2 centuries, but didn't do much wrong in terms of Robertson getting in. And he's played great stuff himself.
21.
He's up to 93% pot success, Xiao Guodong. He's only missed 5 pots in the match. There's Robertson at 95. It's a high standard, this is. Oh, he wasn't sure there if I was going to drop.
The last roll. Wow.
26.
And this is because it caught the pocket edge. So still in good position. Would have been straighter on this red had he potted the blue cleanly.
$27.
Oh, so very nearly went in off in the middle. He holds his hands up because he had a bit of
29.
luck there. Coming off the brown, it nearly went in the middle. But finished up with nice position on the red.
$30.
Would have liked to have been closer to the black, but still got that loose red. Well, see, it's going to come down to
30.
maybe 1 or 2 misses just like that. And because he didn't pot the black, he's not on the red as he wanted. I said he could have done with being a little bit closer to the black. They can be missable, those type of shots. I don't think the red passes the blue. It does. It passes the blue, so it's worthwhile taking on then, stunning the cue ball towards that right side cushion. shouldn't leave anything except the red he's playing on. And as long as he doesn't play it hard enough for it to miss and go over the opposite corner. He's seen something else in, I think it may be to the middle. But this looks the safest ball to play. Great pot. Great pot. And he's just a ball short, really, from being perfect on the black to be able to bust the reds. Well, I thought he could pot the black at the very least. But it appears not.
Neil Robertson won.
Remember, after this match, it'll be Judd Trump against Stephen Maguire. And then tonight on the main table, the main match, Ronnie O'Sullivan against John Higgins. There won't be many seats to be had here this evening at 7.
Yeah.
She spotted something on the cue ball, asking Leo Scullion to give it a clean.
Now, can he get to this red just above the black? It's kind of a shot to nothing, but if it goes in... Yeah, never touched the sides.
Fine.
And he played it, not as a shot to nothing, but as a shot to win. If it went in, leaving the cue ball short of the baulk line. Good pot. And every chance. Easy to play for the red to the right of the pink there. Could also go into them. But there's a red at the back of the pack that I think will go to the right corner. That's the red there. Now, I think that will go. He's just having a look at that red now. It's tight, but I think it will go. And if he can get the right side of the pink or low on the black, well, anything but straight on the black, he can get to that. He can get to that red. It does look as though it goes. Difficult to tell for sure without being the other side of the red. Decided to play for the blue. Now does it go? Having a good look. You can get to it. It looks as though it goes. And I'm sure it would go with a touch of side on the cue ball, but you'd have to get right behind it to be able to play that shot. Well, he thinks it goes.
11.
And if he plays it with a touch of left-hand side on the cue ball, he can afford to play it thicker. I think this is okay, and he's going to develop the other reds as well.
12.
Again, not sure what kind of an angle he's got on the black. He may have to play a deep screw back. No, it's difficult to get to that red, so I may decide to go into them. Oh, he's managed it, just missed the red, and he's nicely on it. And when he pots this, it releases the other one. That's an excellent positional shot from Xiao Guodong.
20.
Choice of taking the red to the middle or the corner. He needs this black and a red and a colour. To be absolutely sure. He didn't want the rub. Now, can he see enough of the red?
27.
Looks like he can.
$28.
And that should do it. Just this colour to make sure.
Well, Xiao Guodong is demonstrating great temperament here. This was a big frame. He's just been hit with 2 centuries from Robertson.
45.
He's been very determined in this break. Hasn't rushed. He's made sure of his shots. And he's made sure now of the frame. And we're going to be level again.
And that's what we were saying earlier, that Robertson's playing absolutely superbly. But he's playing a player who's equally playing as good. He must be thinking to himself, what do I have to do
43.
to win? Well, it's not out yet, I know, but this
44.
pace of snooker, the standard of snooker, is so high that nobody's guaranteed to win.
No, the problem is you can't control how your opponent's going to play. And Xiao Guodong, right from the off in this
51.
match, has been looking really good. He's had a couple of dramatic wins, the 4 snookers in the decider against Gary Wilson, the clearance last night in the decider against Marco Fu. He's missed that one, but he's done
Xiao Guodong,
plenty here to win this frame and to level up. It was a big frame for him. He didn't want to go 4-2 down to a very confident Neil Robertson. In fact, he's dominated frame 6. And so for the third time here in Glasgow this afternoon, we're level at 3 frames all. Welcome back to the Emirates Arena. The Dafabet Scottish Snooker Open continues. Quarter-finals, day 3-3. Neil Robertson and Xiao Guodong. Xiao played a very good 6th frame, having fallen behind for the first time. So it's effectively now best of 3.
Well, didn't leave one off the break-off this time. Xiao Guodong. Just caught it a little too thin. That's why he didn't get the line of the shot and caught the yellow. Yes, he missed the black off the spot in the last frame. Left a half chance for Robertson, who potted it, but just didn't get on the black. But then got back in again. I'm not sure if he can get to the red. That's just above the black. I'm not sure if he can pot that red and take the cue ball back to the balk area. It's very risky with that red being above the blue. No, it doesn't look as though he can pot that red. The one just above the black. Well, this is risky. Screwing the cue ball back to balk. Sending the red into the reds. They could go anywhere. And one's gone over the right corner. He's got a good cue ball. Had he not got a good cue ball, this red would have been easy. I've got a feeling he'll still take it on. But there's a lot of pressure on this shot now. Don't want to go 1 down with 2 to play. At the same time, he wants to stay positive. Yeah, good shot.
Fine.
And deserved to be on a colour, but unfortunately he's snookered. That pot deserved to win the frame. A terrific pot, this. And brave enough to take it on. He's snookered. I was about to say he could play the yellow. But the green could be in the way.
Well, while he ponders this, we've got plenty to look forward to today. The next live match, Steve Maguire, Judd Trump. It's 7-all, you know, on the head-to-head. They'll be up next. And then, of course, tonight, 7 o'clock, the clash of the Titans, Ronnie O'Sullivan, John Higgins. The head-to-head there, O'Sullivan 32, Higgins 25.
Do not miss that one.
Robertson won.
Well, Neil Robertson didn't miss the green, but he'd love to have been on the black after that good long red.
Clash of the Titans.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's their 5th meeting this season. Ronnie's won all 4 so far, so Higgins in his own backyard looking for some measure of revenge.
And now it's coming down to safety. We've had all the potting games, break building. Now it's the safety. And at the moment, he's behind on the safety. Neil Robertson.
Foul and a miss. Xiao Guodong, 4.
He's trying to hit the red that's on the cushion, and I don't think he's got the angle to do it.
Back.
So back it goes.
You got it.
Now, he's trying to hit this red that's closest to the left corner. And there's a danger here because if he hits the red above that red, he could go in off. And he could leave the game on.
Yeah.
This is the danger.
Well, it looks like he's got it back right. You're never going to get it millimetre perfect, but it's about right.
So again, he's trying to hit this red that's on the cushion or nearest to the cushion. But if he goes in off here, he judged it well. He judged it well. Well, he was considering taking the red on into the right corner. He'd be on the black. But if it didn't go in, he's left the game on. It looks easy there, like that, doesn't it? But very, very tough shot. And that's why he's considering the safety. Got to try and cover that red closest to the left corner. Or closest to that left side cushion. Try and use the blue to cover it. Oh, what a super shot.
1.
From Neil Robertson. And is he going to get the kiss? Well, it's a tough pot on the green. An easy snooker. But he'd like to have been potting balls. Well, get out of that one.
Robertson, 1.
That's a great shot.
Foul.
Well, had it gone in,
Neil Robertson, 4.
Neil Robertson may have played the red. But it's going back, I feel.
Robertson looking at the cue balls to say, why didn't you go in?
Does that look bad? Yeah? This way?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Neil? Okay.
Once again, that's the before. Yeah, that's got it to just about right.
A touch more side. He doesn't want to hit this side of the red. And that's a disaster for him.
Yeah, so Neil Robertson set the trap. Now can he take advantage?
Well, maybe up for the blue first rather than play for the black.
1. Six.
Well, may have to go back up for the blue again. And if he could get onto the red, that's just to the left of the black spot. That could lead him to the black easier.
Seven.
Has the angle to do anything.
$12.
And he's on the red.
$13. $20. 21.
That was close. That was very close to staying out. Very nearly overcut it. These pockets playing a little easier than some of the tables we've seen this season. Under hit it.
28. 29.
Now you could just play the cannon to the reds here. The red next to the pink should leave him on the red to the corner. And that will do very nicely. Everything's opened up.
34.
He's got himself up now on the pot success to 96%. Seriously impressive. From both of them, though. You know, the time was 96% pot success. This match would have been over already. It's 3-3, in fact.
Yeah, he's potted 112 balls and got 107 of them. That's quite incredible, isn't it?
35. Yeah.
And when you think of the long pots that he's took on,
I think that's the one good thing about what happened with the Masters is that there was a tournament straight away, so it's not like he's got the whole of Christmas to brood over it. Straight back into another event, and it's going pretty well so far for Neil Robertson as he attempts to edge in front once again here and put himself a frame from the semi-finals.
Well, there's no doubt, David, he's had to play at the top of his game. That's for sure.
.43.
When he takes this red to the middle, makes it easier to get onto the one just below
50.
it.
.51.
So this pink and one more red, he's just checking the scoreboard.
Yes, there's been a sort of surgical precision to this break. He's really focused on every single shot.
57.
And Xiao needs snookers.
58.
Yeah, total concentration, hasn't it? You've got to take your hat off to him. And Xiao Guodong.
.65.
Well, if he pots this red, it'll keep Xiao Guodong sat in his chair, but I've got a feeling he wants to make another century. If he could leave an angle on the pink, he could give those reds a nudge.
.66.
And that's just about right. Whoa, whoa.
.72. .73.
Nicely on the blue.
.78. .79.
Nicely on the pink. This red by the black will go.
.85.
Well, he might play for the green here. But as long as he gets the right side of the colour to land on the yellow to the left corner.
.86.
And that looks just about right. Well, that's a bonus. The yellow passing
91.
the green. Nicely played, nicely played.
Yeah, this has been a great effort. It really has, this break. And he needs
96.
this brown for his third century of the match. He's playing some stuff here, Neil Robertson. He really is.
100.
Absolutely brilliant. What a pleasure to watch this man when he's in full flow like this.
105.
And look at that. On a tanner, as they say.
$111.
Well, he's not won yet, but he's played terrifically well to get to within a frame of victory. And that's another very special contribution, a clearance of 118. Neil Robertson's third century of this match, his 8th of this tournament. So he's one away from a place in the semi-finals. He leads Xiao Guodong 4-3. Welcome back. Now, Ben Wollaston was knocked out of the tournament earlier in the week, but look at this, what a lovely picture. Him and his wife Tatiana have become parents again, and the young baby snug there, watching the snooker here on Eurosport. Hello to Ben, Tatiana and family. And they're watching some great snooker.
Thank you. Frame 8. Neil Robertson to break.
Neil Robertson has made 3 centuries, including that 118 in frame 7. So he needs one more frame to reach the semi-finals. Xiao Guodong looking to take us the distance. There's never been more than a frame between them. Remember, the snooker continues after this match. The live coverage of Stephen Maguire Judd Trump will follow. Looking forward to that one.
Yes, the head-to-head, 7 each. Well, that's the 3rd time he's had a chance at the red of Robertson's break, and he's missed it. Well, not quite left the red. Can't see enough of it. So he's got away with that. May be able to come off the cushion and just land up to it. But risky to take the cue ball back down the table. Can he see enough of the cushion? No, but he could put the cue ball on this black cushion. Now, what does Xiao Guodong do? Does he take that long red on and leave the red over this left corner? That's very risky to play. Well, leaving the cue ball on the cushion like that gave him a shot at the green had the red dropped in. Covered the red in the balk area. And this red nearest the left corner, which you can see, is a very, very difficult pot, as is that straight red. No attempt at the pot, and don't blame him. So this time he can play the safety from that red in the balk area. Just checking to see what he would leave. Now, where they're going to finish. Oh, what a kiss. What a kiss that was. He raises his hands, but that's kept him in the tournament. I'd have been able to see that red, Robertson. It could have been all over. Had no idea what was happening to the balls, but the red staying over the pocket, but that kiss saved him. Played the safety as much as the pot. In fact, it's probably better it didn't go in. Oh, he's hit this one wrong and he needs a bit of luck. And I think he might just be able to cut this one in without pushing it. If it's really thin, I think he can pot it.
Referee Leo Scullin has positioned himself close to watch here the contact. Look at this. It's very close to it, this red. Too close, it would seem.
He spied a plant. Three-ball plant. He'd be on the black if it goes in.
Still can't quite make his mind up. A minute and a half on this shot.
Well, this is the most dangerous one. But he's played it well. Cushion first.
Well, it's a couple of shots that Xiao Guodong's got away with. He scratches his forehead. He knows he's still in trouble. If you can hear little smatterings of applause, there's an amateur tournament being played just down the way on one of the outside tables, so that's what that is. You can just make them out in the distance there.
Well, he concentrated on the cue ball, getting the cue ball back to the baulk area, and he's done a good job. Didn't know what was happening to the reds, but one didn't come down the table. He's not snookered, but he's in trouble. Maybe try and land. Well, I was going to say land up to the red nearest the cushion, But he'd leave the red on to the left middle if he played that shot. Well, what about that? What can you say about that? He just dodged the in off. And look at that for a kiss as well. But what a shot. You won't see many better shots than this.
Worth waiting for. It was another shot that he spent over a minute thinking about. He's knocked in a perler. Yeah, never touched the sides, did it? That was an absolute perler, as you say. Well, on long potting, he's 7 out of 8. 88%. So that's seriously impressive. Well, it was very difficult to get back down the table for the Reds. Nearly straight, but you expected him to pot that. It's a real awkward table, this. Yeah, look where all the colours are, not one colour on its spot. Yes, he's left a red on, but only the green and brown to play for from it. The black and blue are available, but you've got to get the left side of the table for those colours.
One.
Well, the way he's played the shot there, the brown must go. Looked like he could screw directly down the table. Wow. I'm surprised he played the cue ball at that side of the table. Well, he didn't want to come that side of the red.
Xiao Guodong, 4.
The problem is, if he hits the red, he could leave the red to the left middle. Just a little bit more side required. A little further down the cushion. If he gets in behind the red, he doesn't leave that red on. It's not hard enough. He's left the red on.
Sorry. Foul and a miss.
Does he play it?
4.
Robertson hopes he doesn't.
One.
Good kiss, Selma Brown. Would have been on the green without the kiss. Difficult to get to the black or the blue from the next red. So it's going to have to play up for the brown and green again.
5. Six.
Could have done with having an angle on the brown there to go into the reds. He's got one more loose red to try and get the right angle on the brown.
Ten.
Well, he could play for the green, dead on the cushion. Gives him a chance at opening the reds or the brown. But this time he's got no choice here. Has to leave an angle to keep the break going. Chose the
11.
green. Needs to be close to the cushion. And that's about right. That's just about right. And that's a red I would have suggested, just the one below the pink.
14.
Thinking he was going to be on a red to the right corner, but he's on one to the middle. May have to play up for the green again, unless the red next to the yellow goes. Well, not sure from there. Yep, well, he must think it goes, this red.
$15.
Yeah, good positional shot.
18.
Now, he could play for the yellow here and disturb the reds next time round. Not sure what kind of an angle he's got on the red, if he can screw back for the black or blue. No, looks like he can just play for the yellow.
19.
Well, if he could play the cannon to the black or the red above the black, that would really open things up. Well, that would have been a good red to play for, had he not been straight on it. If you're going to play that shot, then you've got to
21.
make sure you've got an angle to be able to get to the blue or the black.
$22.
And played it well. He's on the blue. But can he get to another red?
it's felt like a bigger break than 22, hasn't it, this, which is what it stands at. He's pulled up trees to get this far. He's getting these colours one by one back on their spots. But he's only 30 in front as it stands.
And he'll settle for that. He can get the right side of the blue
27.
and either play the cannon to the reds or play for that loose red at the back of the pack.
$28. $33. $34.
Tried to give them a little nudge. Now, what kind of an angle has he got on the black? Well, fairly straight, but he can screw into the reds. He would have liked a little bit more angle, so he could have stunned off the cushion. Played the red into the same pocket. He just tried to develop them, which he has done. If he could play the cannon to the red he's closest to. That red leaves him on the red to the right corner. And this has been a very difficult break.
41.
49 points the lead. So he's getting there. This was a delicate little shot. Look at this. He cannoned the red out of the way, left himself on the red to the right corner. And now just a couple of reds away.
Yeah, you could see Neil Robertson in the background
42.
just craning his neck. And I'm sure now preparing himself for a decider. Remember, he's had 3 centuries, but this break, whatever it finishes up as long as he wins the frame from it, arguably the best of the match.
Well, if he wins the frame from it, David, there's no argument about it. It is the best break of the match.
Well, this red,
49.
and it's going to be snookers required. He's really had to work hard for these. There wasn't a colour on its spot when he came to the table.
50.
So it looks like we're going all the way. What a start to quarterfinals day here in Glasgow. Neil Robertson has done a lot of heavy hitting himself, but he's sat this frame out since Xiao Guodong got in for this break.
Well, I promise you, you're not going to see a better match than this. This is unbelievable snooker.
57. $58.
Xiao has made 3 centuries in the tournament.
$65. $66.
Well, it's easy what you've got to do in this match. You've got to get in and win. Simple as that. Because if you don't, your opponent will. The only thing he's short of is a century break. Xiao Guodong. No, that's a pity.
Well, he's had 5 half-centuries.
73.
Neil Robertson's had 3 centuries and 1 half-century. It's been a great spectacle, a great standard, and we're going to get one more frame to decide who is going through to the semi-final. Xiao Guodong has made a terrific break there, a well-worked break of 73. So we're all square then here in Glasgow. It's Neil Robertson 4, Xiao Guodong 4. So it's all on this frame. Neil Robertson and Xiao Guodong.
The deciding frame.
4-4. There's the handshake. Neil Robertson was keen to break off, but it's in fact Xiao Guodong's turn. And it's a key shot, this, potentially.
He's pushed one over to that right side again. Didn't get enough side on the cue ball. And who knows? Choice of reds to go for. Oh, what a shot. What a brave shot. Great pot. And as David said, it could be very key.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the first chance, Neil Robertson, from an unbelievable red. I know I've said this many times before, but certainly doesn't deserve to be a loser in this match. They've both played absolutely brilliant snooker.
9.
But if there is a winner, I'm glad it's come from a winning shot, if you like. How's your luck? Not the best. He might play the double.
16.
Well, going into the pack, that's exactly how, as I would have suggested. Miss the red directly above the black. Catch the other one with whiz on the cue ball. But it just hasn't worked for him. Red will go to the middle, or he can play the double. It should have been something easier. It's the middle, and what a shot. What a shot. Played it with stun and left-hand side on the cue ball to get perfectly onto the black. Cracking shot. Well, there's been some good shots in this match, but none better than that.
Yeah.
Slow screw to the middle with left-hand side on cue ball. One of the most difficult shots to get.
24.
Yeah, at any stage, never mind a decider. Got so much bottle, though, Robertson.
Thank you. 25.
This is the red again. Look at the cue ball. Side on the cue ball to come perfectly onto the black. Now, the pot was hard enough, but to play it with that amount of screw and left-hand side was just superb. And nobody could deny him this win after playing like this. But he hasn't won yet.
No, well, he's got to keep going.
Yeah.
It's not about one shot. It's about getting in and killing it off, which he's been doing, of course. Look at the frames he's won. He's made 3 centuries, and the other frame was a 72. So the 4 frames he's won, he's killed off in a single visit.
More, please, Neil.
Pick's going to go behind the pack. It doesn't go on its own spot. All other spots occupied.
Actually makes it a little bit easier, because if you can get the right side of the blue, it's a big pack of reds to go into.
Thank you. 31. $32.
Deliberately played this side of the blue. For that red above the blue. It will go to the right corner and the left.
$37.
Now maybe leave an angle on the blue this time to go into the reds. That doesn't need to go into them hard.
$38.
And that's just about right. Just have a little check to make sure there's no plants there.
Well, Xiao Guodong has broken off in this decider, and the fate of the decider now looks like it's going to rest potentially on this next shot.
Not too hard. But maybe a bit harder than that. Is he on one?
43.
Well, he doesn't look disappointed. Doesn't look like he's on one from here, but body language is saying that he is on one. And it looks like he is. Maybe screw out for the blue. If you can get the other red to the left corner, that's the ball, because it's guaranteed to be on the black or the blue. Yeah, that's the ball that guarantees him being on a colour. The other one's an easier pot, but he might go in off in the middle pocket, off the other red. Slightly more difficult, this red, but he should pot it.
44.
And perfectly onto the blue. Couldn't have played it any better. Now we know that red goes to the right corner, and he can play straight on this red now. Well, if he doesn't like it, he could play into them, and I could not see him not being on a red. That's no guarantee, of course. But if he played into the gap there, feel sure he'd knock one towards the pocket.
$49.
I can't believe he's played for the plant there. I thought he had a red that would go. But playing for the plant when he had such an easy target. But it's in, and that's all that counts.
Well, it's been a superhuman effort by Neil Robertson today. He's got himself 50 points in front. The red's nicely spread. Great chance. Remember, as I reiterate what I said, Xiao Guodong, all he's done is break off. In fact, Neil Robertson tried to break off himself. I bet he's glad now he didn't.
57.
Yeah, he knocked in a cracking shot, and Xiao Guodong is nodding his head because he's given everything. Xiao Guodong.
Well, look at the break he just made. That 73 in the 8th frame was absolutely superb where the balls were.
58.
Yeah, we were saying that it was the best break. This is the red that he got in with, and look at this for a shot. Incredible at this stage of the match, and to play beautifully onto the black. Deserves everything he gets. So another red and a colour, and he's going to be safe. And
65.
the best match I've seen this week.
66.
Well, Neil Robertson came into the tournament 20th in the world rankings. He hasn't been in a ranking event semi-final for 14 months. He's a much, much, much better player than that. And he's proven it here today. This blue and Xiao Guodong need snookers.
Well, he missed a blue similar to this earlier on, so just make sure of the blue.
Well, what a performance. Not just from Neil Robertson, though, from both players. They've set this day up superbly with a cracking quarter-final. You've got to feel sorry for Xiao Guodong. He's broken off. That's all he's done in the decider. And unless Robertson misses this red, he's not going to be coming back.
72.
Can Robertson win with 4 centuries?
Oh, he's missed the pink. But you fancy him for this
79.
red, don't you? That's how good he'll be feeling.
He wanted the 4th century,
Neil Robertson,
but the main
79.
thing is the victory. Now, Xiao Guodong, he's won a match having needed 4 snookers this week. He hasn't given this up yet, but he needs, well, basically 6. 5 to tie, 6 to win. I suppose having won that match against Gary Wilson in unlikely circumstances, you can't blame him, really. But this would be unbelievable if he got anywhere near winning this frame now. Especially now, surely it's time to shake hands. A great match, a really, really good quarter-final, high quality from both players. But Neil Robertson made 3 centuries, 114, 128 and 118, as well as breaks of 72 and 79. He's been struggling of late, but he's back where he belongs on the final weekend of a major tournament. He's beaten Xiao Guodong by 5 frames to 4.